everyone, and welcome to today's Drama Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. So Misha's literally sleeping on me. Do you want to see her real fast? Let me see if... Oh, the baby. The baby. So if I'm not as jumpy around or animated, this is why. The little baby. Okay. Would you like me to just have the camera on her the whole time? I think the answer is going to be yes, but I won't know. I'll cut back to her if things get too sad, okay? I have to just readjust this. Okay. Alright, so let's get right to it. So at Finn's, Hayden and Finn are still, they're making out on the couch. Pretty intensely, too, if I do say so myself. Un second. I adjusted the angle a little, so if I need to cut down to her, it'll be better. So there's a knock on the door, and I kind of hate myself because I'm like, don't answer. You guys are kind of cute together. I kind of like it. And the person won't go away. Why? Because it's Tracy. So he has to answer. And she realizes what she walked in on, and she's like, well, why call me for a favor if, like, you're going to be like this? So Tracy thinks this is all about her and getting Hayden a job at ELQ, that Hayden, like, seduced him so that he would ask for a job for her, and apparently Finn asked Tracy for that favor. So Finn asked Tracy to give Hayden a chance at ELQ, and Hayden is like, wait, this is the first I'm hearing of it, and what, you want to get rid of me? So Tracy's like, haha, I wouldn't even hire her to wash the floors, and leaves, and Hayden's gonna go because she thinks that this is his way of wanting her gone. So he wants her to explain why she thinks he wants to get rid of her, and he doesn't want to be her cause, and like why she's reckless and does these things. And she says, no, it's about your wife. And at this point, let's cut down to MISCHA, because like they could have this great relationship, but they're making it too complicated, and the only thing that can make you feel better is the MISCHA police. Alright, back to me. I've been around since 2011. Y'all love me. She's just been around since 2014. So at the PCPD, Franco and Liz are going to clear the hospital murders. And he really needs to get to the point with Jordan, because Jordan is like losing interest in what he's saying. And like you lead with that? I can't think of the saying. You don't bury the lead. That's it. So he gives her the recording that could reopen GH. It's the Heather confession. So Jordan's like, I'll investigate, but like, I can't, like, it's just a recording. Like, it doesn't really mean anything. So did I missed the whole thing. Wait, oh, haha. So Franco actually has supporting evidence. The guard that helped happened to be written a 6-figure check from Heather, and he worked that night, and then bought himself a condo outside Las Vegas. And a drug dealer confessed to selling Heather the drug, and Jordan's like, how'd you get him to do that? And he's like, just, I have my way with people. So Jordan kind of steps to the side to check this whole thing out. Franco admits to Liz that Heather didn't know he was recording, and she's like, wasn't she gonna be mad? And Franco's like, don't care. I can't have you moving to Rochester. The Raiders finally got us on track. So Tracy goes to the PCPD, and Jordan says they found the perp. It was Heather Weber. So woo! At the Haunted Star, Sunny runs into Alexis. She's sorry for his loss, and she's drinking. And we are going to have a new theory about Morgan's death by the end of this video, so stick around. And if you need a more reason to stick around, she's so cute. You're so cute, MISCHA police. Hi. Oh, I don't want to wake her up. She's such a baby. All right. Alexis is on the phone with Diane, and she lies and says she's with the girls, and oh, they're waiting for me. So Scott and Ava meet at the Haunted Star, which I almost didn't recognize for a second because we haven't seen it in like maybe a year or half a year or more than half a year. And he asks about her phone call because when she's like, get my affairs in order, you're going to ask a question. So she says she went to Sunny's house to retrieve the fake pills, and she got them and covered her tracks, and she feels that she killed Morgan, and because she tampered with his medication. And you know, I always give credit where credit is due, and her eye makeup was amazing, and I wish I could have eye makeup like that, but I'm way too sensitive around my eyes. And I know some of you are probably like, no, that was way too heavy, she looked like a raccoon. But I like that look because I'm a weird human being who can never have that look. Like, seriously, waterline, I can't even think about, yeah, so anyway, but it was night, and that was definitely nightclub makeup, or okay, anyway, this isn't a fashion channel, as you can see. She says, I have no idea what I wrote. I'm pretty sure she says that if Sunny finds out, he'll kill her, and Sunny just happens to come up behind her and hears, and is like, what? Why will I kill you if I find out what? So he won't let it go because he definitely heard what she said, and she says she knows something she hasn't told. The child is moving. You must see this. Hi, baby. Hi, belly rub. Belly rubs make everyone feel better. So Scott takes her aside, but she tells Sunny that she saw Morgan drinking and thought Kiki, and she knew that he thought Kiki was cheating, and she tried to talk with him and stop him. So she was one of the last people to see him alive, and, she has culpability in this, and it's her fault too. And, is this her way of kind of confessing without actually saying how culpable she was? Is it the MISCHA police? Is it? Then after Sunny kind of leaves her alone, she remembers Scott tried to stop her, Scott did stop her from going after Morgan. So Scott says that her plan succeeded. She definitely broke him and Kiki up. And then she remembers she also made Morgan think Kiki was cheating. And she says she just wanted to protect Kiki. And, what if Kiki was in that car? What if Kiki was at the bar that night, right? Follow me. And followed Morgan out because she didn't want him drunk driving, because that sounds like something she would do, and got in the car with him to make sure that, he wouldn't, or let's say she decided to drive and steal the car with him because she thought that would be less dangerous than having him drive the car and explaining it later, So she could have very easily been in that car, and then what, So Scott basically tells her to get over it. People do stuff they regret. And I was like, that's a gross understatement. But anyway, so Alexis and Sunny run into each other again. And she says that she was going to go get a refill of her drink. But, Ava's got her in there. And she's like, oh, then I'm not going to. And he gives her his other drink, because apparently he has two. So excuse me, your tail is in the way. So he talks about the last time he saw Morgan, and, Morgan was so angry, and he was so angry, and, he told him he was disappointed in him, and, why didn't he just grab him and keep him close? Morgan was very hurt the last few hours of his life. So, they talk about the kids in general. She reaffirms that he gave Morgan a great life, and he says Carly left him, and, where's Michael? Oh, yeah, he's not around either. They all blame him, and Dante's trying to put him away. So she says Christina's in his corner. She blames Julian, and Sunny's like, well, what about you? So she talks about her failed testimony. I'm like, are they never going to find out Paul drugged her? That's going to annoy me for at least a week. Excuse me, your tail is in the way of my notes, darling. So Sunny says Julian actually came over, and he's afraid that Sunny's going to kill him, and Alexis is like, well, are you? Which was my first kind of, a little flag went off there, so just keep that in mind. And she says that she needs to go home, and that not one single person is to blame, not even him. And then they get really close, and I was like, are they setting up? They wouldn't, would they? But then I was like, wait a second, little bells are going off in the back of my ears. So let's table that for a second. So Ava and Scott come out, and Sunny points at Ava. No, Sunny points in their direction and says, my son's dead because of you. And I was like, yes, stay on that track, blame Ava. But nope, he's talking to Scott since he got Julian off the charges. And Ava gets her phone out and texts someone, and Scott says that Sunny destroyed his daughter's life, and he deserves to lose his son in return. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa. So then I had to do some Googling, which is why this is up a little late, because I don't know every little piece of history, but apparently his daughter, Karen Wexler, at one point worked at Sunny's strip club and got addicted to pills. And from what Scott then said, she died 10 years after she worked for Sunny, but It sounds like and apparently she had a brief affair with Sonny. I just read that. It's all stuff I read. If it's wrong, let me know, because I didn't watch the show back then. What am I thinking? But I think she got her life on track in those 10 years, from moved to San Francisco with Jagger, like something with all that. So Sonny doesn't feel that he should be blamed for Karen's death. I'm actually not sure how that happened. So if you know, or I can just go back to the Google machine. But anyway, so yeah, he said he deserved to lose his son in return. And I was like, that's too much. Like, I don't know. Like, it just feels so cruel. Like, I don't know, some things you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, and I kind of thought losing a child was one of them, but apparently it's not. At the Metro Court, Julian and Nina are having dinner. It's business, and he says he took, she's kind of miffed that he stole the fruit basket, and he's like, well, I took it to Sonny, so it got to his destination. Yeah, and it got thrown up against the wall. Poor Nina's fruit basket, that thing was expensive. So she says she doesn't wish him dead, but he didn't dismantle her life, so it's not like she exactly blames the other people for wishing him dead. So he still believes that he and Alexis have a chance. He's like a comedian. So if he redeems himself to his children, like Alexis will fall into place. And I'm like, oh, sweetheart, that's not going to happen in a million years. So Nina runs down his sins against Alexis. And, how does he expect she'll be forgiven? He says that she loves him. And again, just so funny. And it turns out Alexis is actually at the Metro Court now. And Nina is like, does she look like she loves you? And also, just leave her alone. Right, Misha? She's reading. These are the notes. She's reading the notes in her sleep. So Franco and Elizabeth are also having dinner to celebrate the hospital that's going to get reopened. Yay! Yay! You're so sleepy. And he says there are times when he appears to revert back to his old ways, and a bad man thought he was a worse man, so he went along with this whole confessions thing. So he must have intimidated the drug dealer to confess to selling to Heather, right, little girl? And probably with the guard too. So at the penthouse, Jason is looking into the broker, and Max comes over to discuss it. Sonny is alone. Michael and Carly left. He's drinking, and Jason asks if he's taking his meds, but Max doesn't feel comfortable to talk to Sonny about that. Darling, I'm not there yet. So Jason is really the only one who can ask him about that. So Max and Sam and Pirate Danny come in. Max leaves, and Sam asks what's going on, and he says, oy vey, what did he say? He says they're worried about Sonny. So he thinks that when Sonny, he thinks about when Sonny lost Lily and how bad he was, and, this was before his diagnosis, so Jason would just kind of just keep refilling his scotch. No, those are your foots? That's your foots! Sorry, I love this little cat so much. Where was I? Oh, and how much worse it would have been, how much worse this is for him that he could be responsible. So Jason needs to find the broker, and Sam asks if it matters. It won't bring Morgan back, but he thinks it's the only way to kind of stop Sonny on this self-destructive track. You're so cute. So Danny comes in. He found the What to Expect When You're Expecting book, and it asks what it is. And they tell Danny he's going to be a big brother, and he's excited because it's better than getting a puppy. And I was like, but not better than getting a kitten. So now end scene. Misha, it's the end scene. Do you want me back? No? You just want the cat? Okay, good. So he says, seeing her, Finn, Misha, you can't use your pronouns for the end scene. So Finn says seeing Hayden on the couch made him feel happier than he has in a long time. And maybe he did feel in a way he was betraying his wife, but this job was about giving her something else to focus on, so he wouldn't be like the sole focus of her life. But Hayden feels that his wife's presence is still there, and she leaves. Jordan will start the proceedings to open the hospital soon. Tracy asks who to thank, which civic-minded civilian, and it's Franco. Who are you reaching for? She's so flinchy when she's sleeping. So Jordan says Franco, and needless to say, Tracy is confused. Liz says that she sees Franco for who he is, like she's not seeing him through rose-colored glasses. And remember back in the early 2000s when that was like a trend, when you got prescription glasses that they could be tinted? Because my friend Elena. That wasn't her name. I forget her. It was Elena. It was something like mixed with Elena and Olivia mixed. Like, I can't remember now. Or maybe she just spelled it with O's. I don't remember. I was like 9, okay? But when she got prescription glasses, they were like pink tinted. I thought that was the coolest thing. It was like a year before I got glasses. And I wanted, did I have blue tinted glasses? I feel like I had blue tinted glasses, but I don't remember now. Anyway. So, he's like, you see the good in me. And she's like, hey, did you hear me talking to Laura? And, oh, I guess it's time for Carly again. Ah, I know, this is so horrible, right? Anyway, and he's like, well, you know, and she's like, oh, did you hear me when, like, about the falling for you part? And he's like, well, I got distracted after that. And she's like, yeah, sure, you were eavesdropping. And he's like, well, it was nice to hear those things, you say those things out loud. And then they kiss. And I'm like, I don't hate it. Because I want to give Roger Howarth a fair shot at this character. And I know it's hard to, like, separate. But here's how I separate it. James Franco was Robert Frank, and this Franco is Franco Baldwin. So that's how that's not how names work. So I'm just keeping them separate. They're two different people in my mind. And that might be bad, I don't, that's just how I have to say it. Anyway, Julian and Alexis, he approaches her, and, he was almost killed, and she's like, yeah, I know, it was payback. Morgan was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he's dead because of you. And I'm like, she says that really darkly. Could she be involved? Could she have felt that her testimony was so bad that she was solely responsible for Julian getting off the charges, that she put something together and she's responsible for the bomb? I think it's something we definitely have to consider. So Danny wants to call the baby Scout, at least for now. And I think that's like super, super cute. And it's a cute name for any gender. So, Scout was in To Kill a Mockingbird. That's the first thing that came to me. But there's Scout, Bruce Willis's daughter. So, I mean, it's a name, So apparently Ava texted Jason that Sunny's in trouble. Scott blames Sunny for Karen's death, even though she died 10 years after she worked for him. And Sunny grabs Scott by the neck, choking, and puts him on the rail. Is like that, and not good, guys. It's not good, basically. All right, that is it for today's recap. I hope you have had a good day. I know I am so tired, but hanging on for you guys. And I have to, uploads will be up a little sooner. I realized that I didn't turn my Wi-Fi back on when I got home because I have it off when I'm out of the house, which is why the upload, the first half took forever. So it's not always going to be super late, but I guess it's already late. I try, guys. I love you guys so much. You make it worth it, because I probably let this whole week go and then just binge it on the weekends, but I don't do that. But anyway, now I'm just rambling because it's after 10 o'clock, is it? Yeah, it's after 10 o'clock, and that's when I ramble, so I will let you go now, and I hope you have a great night or a great morning, depending on where you're watching this, and I just hope you have a great day. Bye!